So Besant said yesterday, very near future, we could see something happen between the US and China in terms of a deal with their trade policy. And it turns out that very near future meant like 5 or 6 hours until Trump came out and it said that it's not going to be zero for the tariffs, but it's not going to be near 145%. And the market absolutely loved it. We're going to go through the charts today for the Qs, SPY, also IWM. Also, I have a few other stock picks for you in this video that I think are really going to have some outperformance potentially. And I got to tell you, one of them is a penny stock and the other one is a quantum stock. And Big Bear AI and then Rigetti Computing, I think that both of those have very interesting charts right now. I'm going to share those with you. Bitcoin, by the way, crossing out of the area of resistance into free rise area. We'll talk about where that could potentially go. And I want to give an update on gold and Dollar Tree. So a densely packed video full of information for you with things that could really help inform your trading from what you're doing and the signs that we have for where we could potentially go. So without further ado, into the charts for you. So the first thing, QQQ, what do we got going on? Well, I said yesterday that we have just the 5 closing up above that 5-period moving average. So that green moving average coming down across your screen, that is a good sign. We want to be riding on top of those moving averages to see continued bullish movement. Today, that price action's up above the 5 and the 13. If we get that bullish crossover of the 5, which is green, crossing over the yellow, which is the 13, that is a very strong sign for us. The RSI yesterday it closed at 43.70. Today, that's going to inflect up on us if that price action stays, and I believe that it can. Furthermore, when we look at this chart, this trend line, our current price action right now is trading up above that trend line. So if that's able to hold as support for us, then we have the 50 EMA up above to look at in terms of resistance at about 475. We also want to pay attention to this previous bottom that we have over here, which also coincides with this previous peak that we have, and that's right around 467, 468. So we'll be watching for that for maybe we hit it, maybe we turn around, retest resistance, and then blast off again from there. Now, mind you, not all of that gets shown on the daily chart. For Bitcoin, for example, you'll see that it did hit the top of the resistance, retested, and then we got a big old volume candle pushing us even higher. We'll get to that soon. So for what do we have for the Qs then? If we get that bullish crossover, if we see the RSI crossover 50, I think we can easily overtake this 50 EMA that we have coming down the screen here this way, and maybe that even allows us to take on this previous peak. Getting back up to that 498 I think would be absolutely huge. To me, that would be the ultimate and most massive test that we would have. April 2nd, by the way, is this candle that you see right here in the middle of your screen. And remember that that was the day, that was Liberation Day according to Trump with the tariffs, and you saw the nightmare stuff that happened before that, and the peak of that happens to be right around 480 or so, but that did close around 476. So this might be enough news that maybe moves us up that high. Now, mind you, that would also go with good labor market news next week. That would also go along with GDP being not as bad as we expect, and that initial Atlanta Fed GDP now cast to be something in the positives, not negative. So we do have that potential for a strong recovery in the Qs, and that also includes the SPY for us that has a lot of the same traits as we look at it. We still have this trend line coming down across, and we are trading up above it in the pre-market hours. We closed above the 5. This will put us above the 5 and the 13. Getting the 5 to cross the 13 is a bullish sign. The RSI going up over 50, also a bullish sign for us. So we want to watch and see for those EMA crosses to happen, for that RSI to cross, and hopefully we get a nice big old volume day in there as well to help a volume supported move. So we're going to have to watch and see what we get today throughout the trading hours. We moved over to IWM. I said that IWM comes to life below the green line, and after a few days, there we are, we're back into it. White is that next resistance that we have, and that also goes along with a gap fill up to 196 that starts. It's a very small gap that we have here, 195 to 196. We could potentially get it. We did not get it going back to Wednesday, April the 9th, which it took just a week for a big old U-turn on tariff policies for 75 countries. China was not part of that now, but now that China is something that could potentially be part of that, that's something that we could see further upside, further good news coming as the deal gets made. So we're going to have to watch the EMA crosses, of course, the 5 and the 13. We want to be watching for those. Let me take down the lines for you just in case it's a little bit more distraction. So you can see the green 5, you can see the yellow 13. We closed yesterday at the 13. Up here today, this is going to help encourage that cross, and we want to see the candles moving on top of or riding on top of those moving averages, such as like we saw over here, but even better if we go back further from that, a little bit farther. There we go. We can really start to see what happens when we sit on top of moving averages and then start riding on top of them. And it's not until we cross under them again that we start dangling them off again that we start to see signs of bearish movement. So let's move from that into Bitcoin, because for Bitcoin, let's drop down to the daily chart on this one. You can see we crossed out of the area of resistance, and right now kind of hesitating a little bit today, but we had 2 good volume days before, which means that these are a volume conviction, or these are moves with volume conviction, I should say, and that's a good thing for us. For Bitcoin, what does it take to move higher? We have 98,451 is where we have that free rise area to, and where we're hesitating, notice, is where we saw a lot of this buying pressure before. Now it's potentially where we see that selling pressure happening right now, although I don't think it's something that's going to hold out for us. I think Bitcoin's going to continue its movement to the upside, and we'll watch and see for that. Now, in terms of the area of resistance, I said that we did retest it. So what we're looking at here is the 1 minute chart. And you can see right here's the top of that resistance, that red box that I had on there for you. And look what happened as soon as we tried the very first time on the minute chart at 5:22 p.m. yesterday. We tried to cross up above that 91,895, got rejected, and then we retested it again 23 minutes later. And then once we finally got that volume movement at 5:49 p.m., there's that move where we strongly were able to cross above and finally break that resistance after couple different minutes there where we tried to break it. So these lines that I have on here for you, these technicals that I give to you, these are very good, very solid, and they tend to keep on working out time and time again for support and resistance, along with the commentary that I give. And you guys can see more of it over at the Discord. I have a joint Discord with other panel experts. You guys can be part of it if you choose to. The link's in the description. Join the earner tier. You get unrestricted access. You can see my buys, sells. You can also see my analyses. You can see on top of that, market analyses, bond market, crypto market. The other panel experts also have their flavor of the things that they do. I kind of cover a little bit of everything in my channel. So like I said, links in the description for that Discord. Come on over and join us. Now, let's go gold, and then we'll do Dollar Tree, and then I'll get into the last 2 stocks for you. My picks for ones that could potentially move for us pretty big in the next couple days here. So gold, check this out. Caught that resistance, and I actually had this technical out, I think on Mondays when I put it out, and then we tested it out on Tuesday, hit that resistance support. We came within just a couple dollars. So this is at 382.75, and the bottom is at 391.36. Support floating just above, or just below, I should say, that candle before we took a bit of a bounce on gold. We'll see if there's a little bit more of a pullback for those gold prices, and I gave that evidence in another one. I just want to share those technicals with you. Dollar Tree, I talked about the selling pressure. We got about $80 per share, and I said that if we get up above 80, that pressure should come off. Yesterday it started, today in the pre-market's continuing. We do have a gap to fill up to $94 per share on Dollar Tree. That play is not over yet, in my opinion. I think we could still see it march higher from where it's at right now. We are potentially going to get that golden cross moment. Just so you know, the 50 is all the way down here. We're up above the 20. And if we slap the Bollinger Bands on it, you can see what we have right now is that we are nearing that top Bollinger Band, but we haven't quite touched it yet. These are 3 standard deviation Bollinger Bands, by the way. So the usual values that we get, that about 99.7% of the usual moves happen within them, and that getting outside of them is actually a pretty rare occurrence and can signal that things are about to turn around. Not quite there yet. I think this movement is not done. So the 2 picks then, Big Bear AI. Check out the daily chart. We had this descending wedge pattern. What we're missing for this so far is, first of all, a breakout to the top side, which potentially today we're getting, which could put us above the 5 and 13. We're going to have to watch for it. We do want volume support, like you can see what happened back here. The last time we had volume support going back to February the 5th, and this is one that I was tracking since below $2 per share. And well, so far we're still up above $2 per share. And this thing, since I called it a fact that it could move, went up to over $10 per share. So that was a 5x movement for Big Bear AI. And I think we might be getting that second wave. Maybe we don't hit another 5xer on this one sometime soon, but I do think that we could hit potentially about a 50% movement. We're going to have to watch and see. This is my penny stock pick that I have going right now. We keep on following this, getting tighter and tighter on this. And if we slap the Bollinger Bands on it, you can see that significant narrowing that we have. Not quite what it was before compared to what we had recently with that major move, but we are starting to see that narrowing again, signaling that a breakout could be happening for us. Today's not a bad day to see that happen. We had 6% up yesterday and our 6% in the pre-market, 7.5% yesterday. So Rigetti's the other one in this consolidation pattern that we actually did break out the top side of it. We retested support, and then today, big thing that we're looking for, we need that cross between the 5 and the 13. So far, just kind of dancing back and forth. Getting up above the 50 EMA could give us room up to about $11 per share. 1091 is what I have on here. And we actually are sitting right at a resistance level. It might be hard to see, but our 2.618 level, if you will, is right around that $9 mark. So if we can clear $9 and the $9.11 that we have for the 50 EMA, there could be a lot more upside coming for Rigetti for that quantum computing move. Maybe we get that next push. We're going to have to watch and see. Maybe it's just a technical place that there's not news driving it. The RSI is pretty ripe on this too, down at 48.19. So guys, like I said, the technicals, the market analyses, my trades, my buys and sells, the other panel experts offering their same things over at the Discord. There's a whole team of us along with thousands of members in the community already who have signed up and are absolutely loving the products and services that are offered. We have the Breadbot over there, which does a lot of what I do here in terms of finding when those major moves are coming. There's a tool there to assist you. There's also AI tools to assist you in seeking that alpha, going for financial freedom. And then there's also advanced charting tools as well. And guys, I tell you what, the products, services, I don't have time to list them all here, but if you click that link down in the description, you just read through them. You're going to be scrolling for a while, reading everything that earner tier has to offer. Just over $1 a day for signing up with tons of value to return to you just again and again and again, day after day. The community always alive, 24/7, kind of like crypto in that way. And if you guys want to learn to do this technical analysis yourself, if you want to learn how to do the trading using the bread recipe with the technicals, and if you guys want to learn how to trade options to really amplify your ability to capture that alpha in your portfolio, there's coursework for you down in the description for Stockmo Academy. Click on that link, sign up. Use the code word doctor. It's going to save you a ton of cash. Bundling the courses saves you even more. I thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.